Deep beneath the forests of the Soviet Union, hidden behind layers of secrecy and steel, lies a forgotten relic of mankind's most dangerous gamble: nuclear war. This is the story of a bunker, one that came terrifyingly close to triggering the end of the world. A machine designed not to preserve life, but to avenge its annihilation. The Cold War was more than a standoff.
We will never compromise our principles and standards.
It was a collision course.
We will never give away our freedom.
The superpowers of East and West had carved the world in two, and between them stood a single, irreversible truth.
The reality is that we must find peace through strength.
Mutual assured destruction. In the early 1980s, that truth hung by a thread. US President Ronald Reagan had just labeled the Soviet Union an evil empire and launched the Strategic Defense Initiative, Star Wars, as it came to be known. The Soviets believed it to be the first step toward a first strike capability. The Soviet response was chilling. They accelerated secret programs for retaliation no matter what. And at the heart of this doctrine was perimeter, nicknamed by Western analysts as the dead hand. The system was designed in near-total secrecy by Soviet military engineers and scientists, including General Valery Yarenich. Its mission? Guarantee retaliation, even if Soviet leadership was wiped out. Perimeter wasn't always on. It had to be activated manually during a time of imminent crisis. Once active, it monitored for 4 key signs of a nuclear strike: sudden seismic activity, elevated radiation levels, a complete loss of communication with command, and confirmation from high-ranking officers. If these conditions were met, the system took over. Command rockets would launch into the sky, not to strike, but to broadcast nuclear launch codes across the Soviet Union to surviving silos, submarines, and mobile launchers. The dead hand of the state would strike back from the grave. It was not fully autonomous, but it was close. Once triggered, there would be no turning back. It was designed to bypass hesitation, emotion, politics, humanity. Then came the night that tested the edge of the abyss. September 26, 1983. Inside Serpukhov 15, a secret Soviet command center, Lieutenant Colonel Stanislav Petrov sat at his post. A career officer, trained for protocol, programmed for war. Suddenly, the alarm sounded. Soviet early warning satellites reported 5 American nuclear missiles inbound. The room froze. Officers waited for Petrov's confirmation. One word from him, and the Soviet chain of command would activate their response.
But Petrov hesitated. It didn't make sense. Why only 5 missiles? A true first strike would involve hundreds. He relied not on the machines, but on instinct. He disobeyed procedure. He told his superiors it was a false alarm, even though he had no proof. He waited. Minutes passed. No explosions came. He was right. The system had been fooled. Sunlight had reflected off high-altitude clouds, triggering a false signal in the early warning system. But had Petrov followed protocol, it's possible the dead hand would have been activated. That night, a single human being, under crushing pressure, saved humanity from nuclear oblivion. The Soviet Union remained silent about the incident for years. Petrov was neither rewarded nor punished. Only later would his actions become known to the world. For Soviet leadership, it was a wake-up call. The machines they built to ensure retaliation had nearly dragged them into accidental apocalypse. In the West, too, analysts were shaken. The dangers of automation in warfare could no longer be ignored. Over the next few years, both sides began to reassess. Communications hotlines were strengthened. False alarm protocols were refined. The strategic arms reduction talks intensified. But the ghosts of that night never truly faded. To this day, no one outside of top Russian command knows the true status of Perimeter. Some say it was dismantled in the 1990s. Others, including former officers, claim it remains operational, modernized, silent, buried beneath the tundra. It stands as a symbol of Cold War fear, of unchecked escalation, and of the grim logic of deterrence. The question lingers. In our quest to protect civilization, did we build machines that threaten to destroy it? Chronographics isn't just about places. It's about moments. Moments where history and science balanced on a knife's edge. The bunker was never used in the end, but in its silence, it roars louder than any bomb. It takes a lot of time and work to make these videos, so if you found this reconstruction compelling, consider supporting us by liking the video and subscribing to the channel to be notified when we upload more explorations into history and science's most dangerous and exciting turning points.